Hello everybody, welcome to Catherine Sews. Thank you so much for joining me today. Tomorrow I am getting on a plane and heading to Italy for the tour of sustainable fashion in Italy with 15 women, some from the US, some from Canada, and some from Australia. We're all meeting in Venice and we're all just so excited. So I've been busily curating a little capsule wardrobe that I'm going to bring with me. It's all things that I've sewn from scratch or thrifted and upcycled or just thrifted and they didn't need anything. I think on the rack there are 2 things that I did buy new. I'll show you those. So in today's video I will be doing a tiny bit of sewing. A few of the things just need little tweaks before they're ready to go to Italy with me, but mostly I just want to show you that you really can build a wardrobe just from things you make yourself and things that you thrift and upcycle. It really is such a joy and you end up with such a unique wardrobe. The itinerary for the tour is Venice, and then Florence, which everybody says is so beautiful. I've never been to Italy. And then Milan, which is the fashion capital of Italy, maybe the world. So we've got about 10 days of visiting museums and going to designers' ateliers, and we're doing some workshops. We're going to fabulous restaurants. We're doing all the sightseeing, all the touristy stuff, plus some really, really fashion-focused things. Oh, we're also gonna go thrift shopping in Italy. So it's just everything that's right up my alley, and we're all just so excited. So after the tour is over, my husband is going to join me and we're heading down into southern Italy to Sorrento for a few days where it's going to be warmer. And so I've got a pack for sort of coldish, rainy-ish, gray weather in northern Italy, and then hopefully some sunnier weather and warmer temperatures in southern Italy. As an overview, what I have here are 2 tank tops, a sleeveless t-shirt, a short sleeve t-shirt, and then 4 different tops, 2 sweaters, 1 cardigan, 2 casual pants, a jean and a black knit pant, 2 fancy pants, 2 skirts, 2 dresses, and 3 jackets, a couple belts, a swimsuit, and a scarf. So this looks like a lot, doesn't it? It might be too much, I don't know. I think that's a reasonable amount. So let me show you how I'm going to mix and match all these things to make a really awesome travel wardrobe. And some of the things you will have seen on previous videos, but a few surprises, and you might see me put them together in different ways too. So let's jump in with what I think is sort of the star of the show. The thing that's going to pull everything together is this sweater. You can see there's a lot of black on this rack, black and ivory. That's kind of the basis of the whole thing, but with pops of color in addition to the black and ivory. So do you remember this sweater? I've shown this a couple of times in the video where I made it, but also in my year-end review because it was one of my favorites from last year. But then I told you that where I had needle felted, because neither of the materials is wool, it didn't adhere really perfectly. It was pretty good, but the edges were starting to lift up. So that's one tweak that I've already done. Let me show you how I fixed that. To fix my sweater, I'm going to try this stitch. They both look kind of like a blanket stitch. This one though has more coverage, right? More of the left to right stitches, and it's giving me the straight line on the right. So I'll just try it out. I really should try it on a scrap first, but I'm just going to jump in. So it's going to kind of give a straight line on the edge and then jump in to give a little stitch over. So you see the problem, right? Most of it is stuck down fairly well, but the edges keep coming up. It's just a little slow going. I'm going to increase the length to 3.5. See how I like that? That seems a bit better. There, now you can see the difference. Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, I like that stitch. That is going to make the whole thing look a lot more finished. Yeah, I like it. It looks like a little hand-done blanket stitch, so I'm quite happy with that. Good, so the flower looks so much better, and I can trim off little fuzzy bits that are sticking out past that stitch line. But yeah, it's so much more secure. No edges are lifting up. So I'll go around the inside circle too. I think these dots on the inside are fine. I'm not going to try and sew over those lumps. Okay, that is so much better. I'll just spend a minute trimming a little fuzzy, but I'll try not to get too obsessive. So that sweater is just going to be great for when it is a bit colder. And I think this sweater goes with all of the bottoms that I'm bringing. Definitely with the knit casual black pants and then both my fancy pants. Do you remember I made a video from that one? I think that's a dynamite combination. Very dramatic. I think I can get away with that while I'm in Italy. But then another pair of fancy pants that I don't think you've seen. These jazzy ones that I got on the very first time I went thrifting in Seattle. And I love those together too. And then here is something that I did buy new, but I bought it years ago, like at least I'm going to say 10 years ago, but it's a very long skirt and I absolutely love it with this sweater. The nice thing about this skirt is that under a sweater like that, I can hike it right up so that it's sort of like a boot length, or I can wear it down at my waist as a maxi skirt. Anything that can do double duty is definitely good to go on a trip. Another of the bottoms I'm bringing is this skirt that I've also shown when I made it, but then also in my year-end review. This is the one that was originally a dress with that top. And then I took the bottom of the dress and divided it into like a sheer skirt that will be my swimsuit cover-up. And then with the lining that was part of the dress, but now I've separated out, it can go back together like a dress, or I can wear it with any other top. So this sweater was sort of the crux of the whole thing. That was my first building block. So then I just wanted to make sure that these other bottoms all have something else that can go with them. So these fancy pants, I thrifted them with this crocheted sweater. Love those two together. And I just pop a little camisole underneath that, and it's just got that breezy bohemian feel to it. I love that outfit. I always feel good when I wear that one. But then these pants can also go with one of my favorite little sleeveless turtlenecks. I love the fact that that's sheer above the bra line. It just always is easy to throw on and it looks elegant and it goes with everything. And how easy to pack. It's no problem at all for me to say, well, just add one more thing in when it packs as easily as that does. Okay, and then here's one other thing that I did buy new, this cute little tank top. I love anything with a mandala on it. I think they're so beautiful. But this will be great when we go into southern Italy and I want to be a little more cool, but I do love it with those pants. That's a really fun look. So then the second jazzy pants, they can go obviously with the solid black and even the black with the white flower. That would work nicely. But I wondered if that would work. This t-shirt was from a video called like, I don't know, removing stuff when I bought 3 things at a thrift store that all had like weird things on them. So this one had, if you can believe it, like it looks like it was meant to be like this, doesn't it? But if you can believe it, had like a rusty color striped ribbing. It just did not work at all. It looked kind of terrible, but now I love it. So I'll see if I can get away with mixing that. I do like to mix prints, and maybe I'll try it. We'll see. This one is another one that I just want to tweak a little bit. I just want to take it in a little bit more under the arm. It's just like a little too roomy there. You'll see the difference that a tiny tweak like that can make. Okay, so when I had it on, I flipped it inside out and I drew a line where I wanted it to come in. And it's quite an angle at the underarm seam, but I want to blend it smoothly at both ends. So I'm starting at my serged edge, coming pretty straight to that underarm seam and then pivoting to go down. I don't know if you'll see a big difference in how it looks, but it's going to feel better. It'll feel a little less sloppy. And then a smooth transition back out to that serged edge. And a pretty sharp pivot at the underarm. So I'll try that on to make sure it's good before I trim and then serge again. It's never going to look good right side out until you clip that seam allowance. So I did try it on. I'm pretty sure I'm happy, but I'm going to make sure when you turn it right side out, that seam allowance needs to be able to spread out around the underarm. When it's a skinny seam like that, no problem. But when it's big suddenly, it needs to be clipped before it's going to look good. So I'm going to make sure I'm happy before I trim the rest and serge. Okay, that just feels a lot better. I don't know if it's going to look that much different, but it feels better. And I might need to reinforce there. I did get a little enthusiastic with that cut. I think I will reinforce there. Okay, that should do. See if you can tell the difference. There, I think that's just a little more flattering. It's a little less sloppy under the arm and it feels a lot better. And honestly, that took about 5 minutes. So a 5-minute tweak can make a difference in how you look and feel in your clothes. These knit pants also are a tweak I want to make. They have already this little strip going down the side seam. I'll try to get a better shot of that. But one side of it is top stitched and one is not. And they were too roomy around the hip. And so I've already opened up just about 10 inches or so at the hip, taken off some of the fabric of the pant, and then sewn the strip back on. So they already fit better than they did. But now it's the inseam that just feels weird. I want to take a little bit off the inseam, so that's another little tweak I'll do. So here you can see this little strip that already was going down the side of these pants. So I didn't want to interfere with the nicely top stitched edge, but this one that's not top stitched was very easy to open up, and I took about 1/2 inch off the hip already. But now the inseam bothers me when I'm wearing it, so it just sits funny around the crotch. So I'm going to just take off about 1/2 inch, a little bit more than a centimeter, just for probably about 6 inches on either side of that center front and center back seam. Alrighty, so again, it's a smooth blend. And I don't even have time to switch my serger over to black. So I'll try it on to make sure I'm happy, but then instead of reserging, I'll just do a second line of straight stitch. I don't know if you could see the problem before or if you can see that it's better now, but it definitely feels better. And just that little bit out of it was just bothering me a lot, and I feel a lot better now. And you know what? I haven't even trimmed away the excess. This is just the first try on, and I'm just going to leave it as that. It doesn't feel like there's extra fabric in there. It feels just fine. So then to go with these, do you remember I recently made that butterfly top? I just adore this one. That'll look good with the solid black pants. And then one other thing that is new, well, not new now, but they were new a couple of years ago. This is a pair of wide leg Levi's. I'm just bringing one pair of jeans, that's it. And I'm not even bringing that much that's going to go with the jeans, right? My other butterfly top that I've made recently, I love this one so much. So that'll look good with jeans. And so with the flower t-shirt, that'll work with the jeans. So this is going to make a gajillion outfits, probably more than I need, but there's time every day to come back to the hotel, get freshened up, and change for dinner. So I think I will be changing for dinner every day. So I need 2 outfits every day. And of course I can mix and match and double up. That's fine. Do you remember a video a while back when I went thrifting on Vancouver Island and I bought a few pieces that just needed small tweaks? This lace blouse was one of those. It was beautiful, but it fit really funny. It was sort of too tight under the arm and too big across the bust. It was too big and too small in weird places. So this looked beautiful just over a black camisole, but I've recently found another way to wear it. So again, if something can do double duty, then it's coming with me. It actually looks amazing under the top of that dress. I'll show you what that looks like. It's so pretty. Oh, and this is one more tweak I wanted to make. See, I've got the snap right here, but it still falls open and looks sloppy there. So I'm going to be sewing this closed in a way that's hopefully secure but hidden. I don't think I need that snap at all. I don't need to be able to open it. I can have this permanently sewn closed and it'll just make me feel a lot more secure and confident. That snap is just not successful, right? Like when you see it opening up like that anyway, it should lay smooth like this. So yeah, the snap was not working. So let's get rid of it very carefully because the fabric is delicate. These are my favorite little scissors. They're just so the perfect size for a job like this, and they're nice and sharp and pointy. And so just like all the rest of my favorite tools, the link is in the description. So the snap is gone and I can see where it was. So that's helpful because then I can see that I want this spot to end up facing that spot. But instead of sewing there where it can still open, I think what I'm going to do is sew the inside edge just for a couple inches, and I'll just be doing that by hand. You know what? As long as I catch that top edge, I think I'm okay. Yep. Okay, here we go. So I've just got a needle and thread, hide my knot in between the layers. And then, yeah, I just want to make sure these edges cannot slip away from each other. It just looks sloppy when they do. So I'm picking up just the lining. I'm not going right through to the outside because I don't want little picks to show. I really have to go like really only an inch. Those stitches will do the exact same job that that snap was doing, but I can get them right at the edge where I need them to be. That'll be, I think, a lot more discreet. A lot of times I see people just put a safety pin on a problem like this. If it's something that you sometimes want to have open, then that's fine. A safety pin can do the trick and be removable, right? Where the snap, I couldn't have it open if I wanted to. You'd have the snap showing. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a safety pin there. But if it's something that you are not going to ever want open, then I think it's easier, better just to put a few stitches just in between the layers, more or less with a little ladder stitch. If you do use a safety pin though, make sure you don't go through all the layers. You really don't want to see the little highlight, the little glimmer of a safety pin through the front layer. That just doesn't look classy. Okay, that I think will do the trick nicely, and I think it'll sit a lot better than the snap did. So again, a little 5-minute tweak that just makes a nice difference in how I'm going to feel in this blouse. Okay, yes, I hope you can see black on black, but it's sitting so much nicer now. It's not falling open there. It just looks natural and comfortable, and I don't have to fuss and bother with it. So that's good. I think that is a winner. Then I've got 2 dresses that are going to come with me, and the first is this one. This is a very recent video of this super easy, fast dress made out of a stretch jersey that I whipped up on the serger. It was lightning fast. Like I think I made this in under 3 hours. And now that I've tweaked the pattern and made it fit so perfectly, it'll be 2 hours next time. So this is a perfect travel dress. So that's definitely going to come. But I have another dress that I have shown. I brought it to New York last May. And so I did a pack with me video for New York as well. This was the one thing that's coming on both trips because this is one of my absolute favorite dresses. And I just thrifted it and didn't have to do a single thing to it. It's that same kind of jersey that just travels so well. You just plunk it on and you're good to go. So then I need some over layers. So first of all is a cardigan, and this one is the one that from that video where I did tiny tweaks to cardigans. And this one I've added those little clips just because I always want a cardigan that buttons. And so these were such a nice little alternative to buttons. So I'll show you, that looks good with everything. And then for a more casual look, which looks good with the jeans, the dresses, some of the skirt looks, my favorite denim jacket. That was the like, it looks to me like mosaic tiles. I had so much fun making this one. So that's going to come with me, mainly because I love it with this dress. It's probably going to be rainy, at least for our first few days in Venice. So I'm bringing a light rain jacket. How boring, yeah, but that's fine. And a couple belts to dress a couple things up. And then I'm bringing my favorite faux leather jacket. This one I thrifted a couple years ago. I wear it a lot. I love it, but so sad. The collar is starting to delaminate. That's so crappy, right? Don't you just hate that? It feels like real leather. It's not, and you know it's not now that it's delaminating. Real leather doesn't delaminate. But on our tour of sustainable fashion, one of the places that we're going to is a place that makes leather goods out of reclaimed scrap leather. So maybe I will find a replacement jacket for this one. If I do, fantastic. I will be over the moon. If I don't, I'll come home and do a repair on that. Maybe I'll just sew like a piece of real leather on top of that. We'll see. I'd like to keep this jacket going a little longer if I can because I absolutely love it. A few other things that have to go into my suitcase. Oh my goodness, look what I made. I made 16 of these tote bags, one for every participant and one for myself. So I love that so much. Catherine, so Sustainable Fashion Tour of Italy. And then the picture of, I think that's Venice, it might be Florence, I forget. And then the name of our travel agent, Open Doors Travel, who've been so fantastic to work with. I'm so grateful to Erica at Open Doors for setting this whole trip in motion. And then every participant gets a bag with their name on it. I'm just thrilled to give that to everybody, but that's a lot of room in my suitcase. But you know what? That's going to be like a space holder. Once I give away these tote bags, then I have room for a new leather jacket. Okay, shoes. I think we're going to be walking a lot. So I did go and buy a new pair of Adidas. Years ago, I did research onto which sneaker company was sort of the most ethical. You know, no company is perfect. And I know there's going to be people who say, no, Adidas is not good. Nobody's great, but Adidas is not as bad as some of the footwear companies. I did go with Adidas. The black one with the white stripes, it's gonna go with everything. Super comfortable. You can't go wrong when you're walking around in super comfy shoes all day long. But then for dinner, I wanted something that looks a little prettier, but not a heel. Because even for dinner, we're gonna be walking there and back. And so I've got a little pair of ballet flats. These are from Anne Klein, and I've had them for a couple years. They are super comfortable, and I could probably walk around all day, but definitely all evening. Okay, the last decision I need to make is the bag. And I've been wanting to show you this one for ages. Do you remember I sewed up this Babylon leather bag, and I absolutely adore it. And I thought I would bring it to Italy, but now that I've got so much black in there, maybe, because I do love this one, I love the size, it would be perfect for travel. But I did finally finish the black one that I got. Isn't that so nice? And it comes with like a free little silk scarf. It's called Baby Lock leather bag, and it's got this little lock that just hangs as like a little decoration. Both of these are totally removable. You don't have to have any decoration on it if you don't want to. It's got these carrying handles that was not easy. I'm telling you, this one, I'll put the name of this one in the description, but I think it was just a tote bag, something like that. This one is called the Baby Lock. This one was easier to make for sure. This one went together just like a dream. This one was more challenging for sure. These little handles were a little bit more challenging, and this construction here where there's like a pleat. Can you see that? This pleat, it holds that center pocket in there. It's set right into that pleat. Even though this one was more challenging, I actually really enjoyed the challenge, and I loved making these up. Babylon just makes them so precisely and gives you everything you need. And so I do want to thank them for these bags. They're beautiful, and it was really, really a pleasure to make them and to share it with you. So yes, the link to the Babylon leather bags is in the description, and I just highly, highly recommend them. So my tweaks are done. My capsule wardrobe is organized. I think I'm ready to just cram this all into a suitcase, and I will be ready to go. This trip, as I say, I am beyond excited about it. I get to meet 15 new friends. Well, actually 3 of them I know from the Seattle retreat that I did in the summer. So I'm so excited to hang out with them again. And then 12 new people, and we all have a common interest. We all have a love of fashion and travel and sewing and textiles, and it's an amazing way to build friendships. So there will be more trips in the future, and I know that so many of you have said, I want to go on the next one. And yes, absolutely, I want you to come on the next one. So Erica from Open Doors Travel and I have been putting our heads together to think about the next trip, where we would like to go, where we would like to take you. And so yes, there will be another trip in the future. So that, my friends, is all for today. And by the time this video comes out, my trip is going to be almost over, but I will see you back again in a new video, sewing and upcycling, and I can't wait to see you again. So until next time on Catherine Sews, you take care.